At the engagement banquet, my sister suddenly dropped to her knees, kowtowing like a madwoman. "Sister, I'll give you all my jewelry designs. Please don't throw me to the dogs, please." While everyone waited for my explanation, my fiancé Ethan ripped off the engagement ring in front of the crowd. "The wedding's off, you plagiarizing bitch, don't deserve to marry me." My brother slapped me hard, his eyes red with rage. "Elena, get on your knees and apologize to your sister this instant." I couldn't defend myself. As I fled the banquet, a speeding truck slammed into me. When I regained consciousness, I heard Ethan and my brother talking outside. "Ethan, wasn't ruining her reputation as a plagiarist enough? Did you have to cripple her legs too? Only this way will she stop threatening Leela's position as chief designer." A pause hung in the air. Leela's worked for years for this. Becoming chief designer is her dream. I have to make it come true. As for Elena, if she's crippled, so be it. I'll support her for life. Why was she brought in so late? A doctor's urgent voice cut in. "Her hand nerves are severely damaged." "What are you waiting for? Sign the papers now and we can still save her hand." Ethan tore up the consent form, his voice cold. "We'll wait for the specialist consultation tomorrow." My brother hesitated. "Ethan, if Elena really ends up crippled, she might not want to live." "Crippled is better," Ethan murmured, stroking the ring still on his finger. "Break her obsession with designing jewelry, and she'll settle down as Mrs. Ethan. I'll watch her. She won't get the chance to kill herself." I lay in bed, trembling all over. I couldn't fathom how the two people that I loved most had hurt me the deepest. A memory flickered. Ethan, when I was 18, brushing his hand over mine. "He's going to be a top designer someday." But now, it was he who deranged the car crash, who'd refused to sign for surgery, trying to destroy my design dreams. Even my brother, who once swore to protect me forever, had become their accomplice. I strained to sit up, but my nerve-damaged hands betrayed me, and I tumbled off the bed at the sound. Ethan and my brother burst in. "Sister, why Elena?" One grabbed my right hand, the other my left, their concern overflowing. "Don't be scared, I'm here. Sis, don't worry, we found the driver who hit you." Watching their flawless act, a bitter smile tugged at my lips. "But weren't you the ones who really hurt me?" "Brother, when can I have surgery? My hand hurts so much." At my words, he slapped himself hard, his face contorted with shame. "Elena, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I couldn't get a hand nerve specialist for you. I don't trust other doctors. What if their incompetence leaves you with permanent damage? I promise, even if I spend every last penny, they'll operate first thing tomorrow." Ethan called a nurse. "Please give my fiancée the best anesthesia. She's terrified of pain." He held out his arm to me. "Elena, bite my arm if it hurts." My brother stroked my hair, murmuring comforts. Watching their show of concern, my heart felt nothing but cold. If they wanted to play, I'd play along. The anesthesia pulled me into darkness. When I woke, muffled voices drifted from the bathroom. "The press release is ready. We can hold the conference anytime," my brother whispered. "Once the news of her disability breaks, Leela can take the chief position without a fuss." "Check the edited crash footage again. Make sure there are no mistakes," Ethan said, tapping the marble counter. "I want everyone to see exactly how her right hand got ruined." I lay in bed, counting the seconds on the wall clock. When my brother walked in, I was staring at the live stream of Leela's entry, a design I'd spent months on, Crown of Thorns. "Don't worry," he said, taking my mangled fingers in his hand. A corner of a press release peeked from his suit pocket. The headline glaring, "Genius designer reaps what she sows, plagiarist gets her due." Once your hand heals, every millionaire in the city will beg you to design their jewelry. I met his faint tender gaze with a faint smile. "Brother, is that really true?" "Of course, Elena." He looked away, unable to meet my eyes. He knew better than anyone I'd never be chief designer now. The brother who once swore to protect me forever had turned me into a cripple. The live stream host's excited voice blared. "Let's congratulate Leela on becoming John Cheng's chief jewelry designer." My brother grinned, then suddenly smashed the phone. "This is outrageous. It's impossible. Your design won first place. How did Leela get the position?" "Elena, I'll go fight for you right now." I watched his act numbly, my heart splitting with pain. As soon as he left, A nurse wheeled me to ward surgery. Chaos erupted in the hallway. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashing on my curled right hand. Selena, was the car crash a premeditated cover-up for your plagiarism, Ms. Elena? The Design Institute revoked your chief title for plagiarism. How do you feel? A reporter tore off my protective glove, exposing my deformed knuckles to the lens as the truck had crushed my legs and shattered my kidneys. Now my hand looked like a twisted claw, drawing gasps from the crowd. Panic surged, and I couldn't control myself. I wet myself. Urine ripped from my amputated thigh onto the floor. My colostomy bag, jostled by my violent shaking, fell open. Stench filled the small hallway. People covered their noses in disgust, yet kept filming. Take pictures. This is karma in action. Don't end up like her. A worthless cheat who brought it on herself. Their words sliced into my heart. I tried to run, but the nurse held my shoulders, trapping me. I was their spectacle, my dignity trampled without mercy. Get out of here! My brother roared, frantic. Ethan ran down the hallway, stripping off his coat to cover my hand. Animals. You're all animals. Together, they fought off the crowd, their eyes red with rage. Once the reporters left, Ethan lifted me gently into his arms. I'm sorry I was late. They were Oscar-worthy, ruining me to make way for Leela, hiring thugs to crash into me, planting reporters to slander me. And now, performing this charade for whom? A doctor hurried over, wheeling me to the ORs. The door closed. Ethan and my brother stared after me, their faces full of feigned sorrow. When I woke, the doctor's voice held regret. I'm sorry, her hand nerves are completely necrotic. I looked down. My hand had been replaced with a mechanical prosthetic. The patient has permanently lost fine motor skills. My brother kissed my bandaged thigh, trembling. How could this happen? My sister's young. She was meant to be chief designer. Ethan dropped to his knees before the doctor. Please save my fiancée. She's too young to be a cripple. He hugged me, sobbing. We'll go to Switzerland for treatment. I swear I'll take care of you forever. Tears slipped down my cheeks. I wanted to ask, are you satisfied now? But before I could speak, his phone rang. Leela's voice chirped, Ethan, is my acceptance speech ready? They transformed instantly, urging me to rest before rushing out. I unlocked my brother's forgotten phone and found a hidden folder. Thousands of photos, him, Ethan, and Leela traveling together these past years. 30,000 happy memories while they watched Lavender in Provence. I'd sat vigil at his mother's hospital bed while they skied in Hokkaido. I'd pulled all-nighters revising engagement ring designs he'd rejected. No wonder they'd always refused my travel plans, citing work they were too busy with. Here, very photo I'd sent them was in the trash. I called my mentor. I accept Milan Academy's offer. The old man's voice shook. You finally decided. For years, I'd turned down overseas opportunities, reluctant to leave my brother and fiancé. Now they'd made the choice for me. But I have one condition. Permanently erase my identity. He hesitated, then agreed. When do you leave? 3 days from now. When Ethan walked in, I was staring at the calendar. 3 days. Leela's birthday banquet. Leave where? His face flickered with anxiety. I locked my phone. Calm. Just wondering when I can be discharged. Relief washed over him. Elena. The doctor says you need more observation, no rush. His eyes held an odd panic as he spoke. Next morning, the ward was empty except for the drip of my pain pump. When I changed out of my hospital gown, wheeled myself to the villa and found the garden full of familiar faces. Everyone had been invited except me. Ethan had his IIT's arm around Leela. My brother raised a champagne glass to Zhang Cheng's youngest chief designer. Leela stood at the center, triumphant. A banner snapped in the wind, its gold letters searing my eyes. Congratulations to Leela, chief designers. He walked over, her perfume choking me. Sister, you think you can crash my celebration looking like this? Heard you wet and soiled yourself in the hospital. Disgusting. Guests turned to stare. My brother hurried over. Elena, what are you doing here? He hesitated. The doctor said home's better for recovery and Mimi needs new food. I started to wheel away, but Leela blocked me. If you hadn't cut corners, this celebration would be yours, wouldn't it? Murmurs erupted. They say all her designs are plagiarized, shameless plagiarizing her own family. Plagiarists are revolting. I ignored them, rolling to my bedroom. Inside, the cat tree was broken. and Mimi lay dying on the floor. Leela followed, slamming the door. You're just like this mongrel, she kicked my chair, and I felt Mimi lunged at her skirt. Leela hurled her aside. Leela, stop, I tried to lunge, but my prosthetic arm seized up. Leela pulled a knife, slashing her arm 3 times. Brother, Ethan. Help, sister's trying to kill me. Ethan burst in first. He didn't glance at me, crumpled on the floor. He lifted Leela. Leela, what happened? You're bleeding so much. I brought sister cake from the celebration, but she set her cat on me. Ethan's eyes blazed as he screamed at me. You crazy bitch. If Leela's cars, I'll make you pay. I crawled to Mimi as my brother rushed in, having pacified the guests. I clutched at the hem of his trousers. You said Mimi was Mom's last wish. Shut up, he roared. Mom fell from the 22nd floor saving you. Why? Ethan cut him off. Because Leela's the real genius. You're a plagiarizing waste. You deserve to rot with this dead cat. Besides, when I needed a bone marrow transplant 10 years ago, it was Leela who donated hers. I stared at him. Nem. I'd been the one to save him. I was unconscious for a week after the surgery, but by the time I woke, Leela had claimed all the credit. Ethan wrapped his arm around Leela, sneering, since you're so fond of it, you can keep it company. We'll lock you both in here. My brother and Ethan dragged Leela out, slamming the door. When my brother returned with city experts, Theodore sprinted up. Master, Miss jumped out the window with the cat. I landed on an air mattress. My mentor's rescue team. I rushed to the airport. A day later, I was in Paris. The rehab room smelled of turpentine. The doctor held up a nerve scan. Forcing that prosthetic could cost you even your basic grip strength. My phone notified me of Leela's new post, her wearing my crown of thorns. Cuddling Ethan, I let out a cold laugh and blocked her. I spent days rehabbing and designing for the Paris Inundation Jewelry Contest. Then an email arrived. Congratulations on advancing. Submit your final piece within 7 days. I worked day and night on the 6th day. As my 7th design neared completion in the engraving machine, the studio door exploded. Eamon kicked over the power box, sneering. Leela says trash like you doesn't deserve to have your work see the light of day. This my equipment smoked. My heart sank even in Paris. Leela wanted me dead. He smashed my work, unaware of the tiny camera and my paperweight filming every second. After he left, I called the police. By the time doctors arrived, blood oozed from my prosthetics joints. I collapsed when Ethan heard Elena had jumped. His heart lurched, but she was gone. No trace. She's alive. He thought she's hiding from me. He tried to search, but Elena's brother Oliver stopped him. I said, "Man, you need to stay with Leela." Leela, drunk, grabbed the host's mic. "Let me tell you. You really think that cripple could design anything?" I shredded her sketches and fed them to dogs. The hall went silent. Ethan ragged her backstage. "What did you mean by that? Explain." Leela touched up her lipstick. "Explain what?" "That the bag you gave me last week was fake. Or why I killed that ugly cat." Ethan's veins bulged. "I hired a van, not a truck. You were the one who ordered the heavy truck." Oh. Leela laughed. "But you gave your silent consent, didn't you?" Leela stepped closer to Ethan. "I said I wanted her to never hold a carving knife again. You agreed, didn't you, Ethan?" Ethan's hand shot out, clamping down on her wrist. "Where are the designs?" "Burned to ashes." Leela tiptoed, her breath hot against his ear. "You Ray Herfy ain't. How could you hurt her this badly?" She was in agony, just like you're shaking now. Ethan grabbed a hanger, flinging a dress over her head. Leela snickered at his disarray, putting on a show of devotion now. "Weren't you the one crying your eyes out when she donated marrow to you back then?" "Shut up. I'll say it." Leela bared the scar on her waist. "You knew this wasn't from a marrow biopsy. Why do you play dumb?" Ethan smashed the vanity mirror, slicing his hand. Leela licked the blood off his knuckles, slapping a USB drive against his chest. "Go save her then. The whole city thinks she's a plagiarist. She's probably suicidal by now." Ethan stormed out. His mind a whirl. He'd sworn to take care of Elena forever. How'd it come to this? Had he gone too far? He'd only wanted her to be his quiet wife, safe from the world's harshness. Was that so wrong? He'd done it all for her. Why couldn't she see that? Why cling to fame when he could give her the finest life? They'd been so close to marriage. He needed to find her. Dead or alive, he had to ask. Was he really wrong? Oliver knelt at the door, shouting for his sister. No answer. His phone pinged with Leela's cooing voice. "Brother? Where are you? My hand hurts. Oliver stared at his watch. Elena's 18th birthday gift. Bought with 3 months of her wages. He deleted Leela's message. Theodore rushed over. Master. We recovered the banquet surveillance. On screen Leela toasted the truck driver, smiling like a hissing snake. Oliver hurled the tablet, shattering it. He remembered last month, Elena burning with fever. Leela snatching the last injection. Her right hand's already useless. Better if she fries her brain. He'd thought it a cruel joke. But he'd underestimated his stepsister's venom. Back at the villa, the height marks on Elena's bedroom wall remained. He traced them. Tears spilling every birthday dish. She dragged him here, even when he'd long outgrown her by a foot. Scrawled below, when Big Brother becomes CEO, build me the biggest studio. A servant carried Mimi's bloodstained cat tree. Shall I dispose of this, sir? Oliver took it, trembling. By a cat exactly like Mimi now. He tore through Elena's drawers. Empty. Only days ago, she'd hooked her mangled fingers around his, cooing softly, brother. Is Mimi behaving? He'd given her that cat. How did he forget? How'd he let himself kill it? He'd grown drunk on Leela's sweet lies, forgetting Elena's quiet, heavy love. He de-killed her cat in front of her. How much pain had she felt? Frantic for proof she'd existed, he'd cried. Open a hidden compartment. Her diary fell out. Brother, you lied when you said Mom doesn't hate me. Oliver clutched the diary, racing downstairs. Only to find Leela humming cheerfully. Brother, I charged a Nikuter. Said to your card you won't mind. Right? Oliver's gaze locked on her necklace. Elena's months-long design. Did you wire the money to the truck driver? Did you swap the van for a truck, nearly killing Elena? He showed her the surveillance screenshot. Leela froze. Now you're accusing me. You're the one who dragged her to that press conference to apologize for stealing my designs. Oliver grabbed her chin. What about switching her meds? So what? You praised me for it. You said her painkillers were a waste of money. Oliver slapped her. Leela stared, stunned. Who do you think you are? A lowly stepsister. Daring to act so high and mighty? He ripped off the necklace and years of stolen life. Time to give them back to Elena. Leela grabbed a fruit knife, slashing her wrist. Touch me. And Ethan will crash Hawthorne stock tomorrow. Blood dripped on the carpet, but Oliver laughed. Go on. Slit deeper. He pulled up his phone. Or say goodbye to your Swiss bank accounts. You dare touch my money? I'll kill you. Oliver wrenched her arm, flinging her to the floor. I'll deal with you once I find Elena. Huh. She's dead. Jumped to her death ages ago. A year later. At the Paris Jewelry Contest finals. Footage of the intruder in my studio played on the big screen. That's cheating, a judge roared. Leela sabotaged her rival. I handed the micro camera to staff. Check his right wrist. That's naked to matches the truck driver's. The crowd erupted. Lights out, please, I said. The hall went dark. 300 diamond shards in my design blazed to life. Gasps filled the room. Leela's scream cut through the silence. Live on screen. I'm the champion. Elena stole my idea. I smiled at the camera, revealing evidence of her bribing judges. Care to explain this, Leela? She gaped. Speechless. No excuses mattered now. After winning, I returned to the hospital. Nurses celebrated as I had my stitches removed. Until the cheering died. My prosthetic arm slammed against the bed. The doctor snatched my carving tool. Elena, do you want to lose your hand entirely? Ethan burst in, dropping to his knees. Elena, you're alive. His face was gaunt, unshaven. I remembered that press conference. Elena, she's no designer. Now he looked broken. Elena, I'm sorry. I didn't know Leela was this evil. Ethan still confuses people. I'm not Elena. He pulled out checks. Eyes red. I bought spots at Europe's best rehab centers. I slap the checks back. Can you buy back my hand? I'll support you forever. He lunged, grabbing my wrist. Look, I got the ring. I knocked the box away. Support me? Like a caged bird, dependent on your charity? I held up my prosthetic. You did this. And you expect forgiveness? He trembled. Wordless. How laughable. Once, I'd begged him to visit me in ICU. He'd been cutting cake at Leela's celebration. Elena, I've missed you every day since you left. Missed my earnings? The day my suicide hit the news, bond stock rose 30. He knelt again. What will it take for you to forgive me? I laughed, pointing out the window. Jump right now. Scared, after all that talk of love? Ethan stood, drained. No struggle, no hesitation. He wouldn't sacrifice himself for me. I gestured for security. See? I don't need your handouts to thrive. As they dragged him away, he begged. But my heart felt nothing. The old Elena was dead. Killed by Ethan and Oliver in rehab. Theodore, message D, miss. Watch the live stream. Leela was on screen. Sisters will says I inherit all her designs. Ethan crashed the broadcast. Plugging in a USB audio blared. Leela and the truck driver wait outside the banquet. Run her over the second she exits. Fine. But double the pay. This is high risk. Leela gaped. Fake. I generated, don't believe them. Oliver stormed in, denouncing her publicly. Leela snapped, screaming. Guards, they're conspiring against me. Theodore sent more links. Von Co turns himself in. Hawthorne Air transfers shares. I should have rejoiced, but I couldn't. I intern burst in Ms. Elena, press conference materials are ready. Leave them. Schedule a 3 p.m. launch event. I have new designs to unveil. My phone buzzed. Oliver's new number. Built you a studio in our hometown waiting for you. I blocked him, gathering every Hawthorne-related item. Into the fire they went. No more ties to Oliver, no more to E than just me in the future.